Morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Yeah, in beautiful Paris. I mean, don't always complain about everything, can you? So, the temperature this morning is 36, and the time is 8:45. So, we got a beautiful day in the park. Birds are chirping, Indian miners flying all over the place. My grass, beautiful and green. Eh, hey, you know, I got rid of one addiction and got another addiction. Making my grass the nicest looking grass. I mean, our next door neighbor's grass looks more like the desert got a hold of it than anything else. Right. Oh, yeah. Before I forget, coming down with the flu and stuff. So, ACC 200, vitamin. Excuse me. Cool. So, it's the 17th of October. Diction of the day is 15, part 15. Once again, please remember that I'm not a part of AA, as well as they are not a part of me and all the other side groups, for example, NACA, so on. Remember, please, I do this not just for me, but hopefully to reach that one person out there that might get something from it. Right, so we're going to read again from just for today. And that one. Okay. So everything we know is subject to revision, especially what we know about the truth. Basic text, page 94. Many of us thought we could recognize the truth. We believed the truth was one thing, certain and unchanging, which we could grasp easily and without question. The real truth, however, was that we often couldn't see the truth if it hit us square in the face. A lot of people don't see the truth as in, the hurt that they're doing to themselves, those closest to them, children, marriage, you know, they don't see the actual psychological damage that they're doing to those people around them. Right. So there was once somebody that said, I can't remember who it was, said that every addict affects 27 people around them. And that's it's quite a big truth. All right, so often couldn't see the truth if it hit us square in the face. Our disease colored everything in our lives, especially our perception of the truth. In fact, what we knew about the truth nearly killed us. Before we could begin to recognize the truth, we had to switch our alliance from our addiction to a higher power, the source of all that is good and true. To switch our alliance from our addiction to a higher power. Because we all, as addicts, we count it on ourselves. I've got this. I can do this. I can do that. Nah, but you couldn't until you got higher power. Right, addiction to a higher power the source of all that is good and true. The truth has changed as our faith in our higher power has grown. As we've worked the steps, our entire lives have begun to change, though the healing power of the principles of recovery, through the healing power, through the healing power of the principles of recovery. In order to open the door for that change, we have had to surrender our attachment to an unchanging and rigid truth. The truth becomes purer and simpler each time we encounter it. And just as the steps work in our lives every day, if we allow them, our understanding of the truth may change each day as we grow. Just for today, I will open my eyes and my heart to the changes brought about by the steps. With an open mind, I can understand the truth in my life today. A lot of people say, they will say, oh, my life is not unmanageable. You know? Da 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 da. I got this, I can handle this. It's you blinded by the truth. I like to use this as an example quite a few times. It's like arguing with my mom once. I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. And she recorded me, showed me afterwards. That's what you look like. So if you're listening to this and you think you've got this, trust me, you don't. You don't have nothing. Okay? Don't bullshit yourself. You can control this at all. Okay? I tried it a few times myself. You know, I got this. I can do this by myself. You know, you get to about day 2 and you're cramping and you're sweating, cold sweat. You're like, jeez, no man, hey, I can't do this. I can't do this. And you're trying everything, every pain pill you can find. Nothing's happening. You even decide to take a swig of alcohol. Nothing happens. The next thing you know, you're back to doing what you know best. And you bullshitted yourself once again. Especially a lot of people battle with when they start getting clear headed, as I like to say. Now, after a couple of days that you haven't touched alcohol or touched a drug, okay, the head's starting to clear up. The smoke, the fog is starting to disappear. Now, your conscience is now starting to nail you. Bam, bam, bam. And that's where a lot of people fail. They cannot handle what's happening in here. Because what's happening in here is driving them nuts. It's because now they're remembering what they've done. So, like, have I really fucked up that badly? Have I really done this? You know, and so on and so on. And this is why we suggest that you have a support system. You have a counselor. You go to rehab to learn to deal with these things. Because as I mentioned before, your weakest part of your body as an addict is your mind. Our minds are our weakest instrument because it's our minds that put us straight back to where we were. Remember, craving is only 10 seconds. You entertaining the thought of that craving can be hours. It can be hours. Now you need to learn how to deal with that. How do you manage that when you're entertaining that thought? What do you do? This is what you learn from counseling and all that stuff. Right. So today, we've got a different thought for the day again. A different thought for the day again. And it's a little bit of a longish one. It's not too long. Please remember, there's things that I will be reading out. Occasionally, I might tell you, let you know, okay, I wrote this, but I won't share who wrote other things, where I got certain quotes from. Okay, I just don't care. Joking. I just find it not necessary. All right. So if you want to know who a certain quote that I said, where did I get it? Send a message. I'll answer you back, and I'll let you know. Cool. Take a So thought for the day. Most people, when they talk about addicts, they talk about the addict. But what about the families, wives, husbands, children, parents, and so on? Some people will tell you that the only victim in being an addict is the addict. Now, speaking as a recovering addict myself, I would just like to say that that is a complete load of crab sticks. I like that. Crab sticks. Crap. Right. The problem about being an active addiction is that the addict does not see how they hurt the people around them. Now, I can only speak from personal experience on how I treated my loved ones and how I realized that I was actually treating them like rubbish. Highlight the I. I did that. Admitting your faults. Right? That's a big thing. Admit when you're wrong. Now, while I was or should I say, in active addiction, I did not care about whom I hurt, who I stole from, and so on. You see, when an addict is in active addiction, the power that the drug has on the addict is almost supernatural, if I can put it that way. When the urge came to use, I would phone my mom with a story so I could get cash from her. Never phoned my dad because, well, let's just face it, dad would have told me to take a flying leap. So I would tell my mom I needed money for petrol, or money for rent, or money for groceries, etc. And if she said no, then I would start with begging, then move up to trying to make her feel bad, to finally threatening and cursing, and just being a real asshole to her. So, in fact, I had turned my own mother into a victim. Many addicts do this. Only problem is, some addicts have kids and they turn the kids into victims. When we sober up and we start to think back on the things we did while being high or under the influence, and these are the things we, I, would never have done or said if I was sober. I used to say that an addict will rob his own grandmother just so he or she, maybe, he or she could get their fix. For example, I have stolen stuff from my parents' house, from close family and friends. I have even stolen from my girlfriends. Yep, I know what you are saying, and you would be right in saying so. Trash. I've even turned my mother's house upside down once, so it would look like someone broke in. I broke the gate motor, threw clothes and plates and paper stuff around the house. Once that was done, I went and got my fix, and that was that. I could have cared less about what happened next. You see, when on or in active addiction, we addicts will do just about anything to get our fix, and we don't care. At that point in time, who we hurt or have to walk over to get what we want. Now, as you can see, the main victim in an addict's life of addiction are the family or loved ones. Now, please don't get me wrong, the addict is a victim too. The addict is a victim, or should I say, slave to the addiction. The best way I could explain the effect of an addict and their addiction on those around them would be like this. Imagine you threw a stone in a lake. The center ring that forms is the addict, and all the ripples that follow after are everyone else in the addict's family or circle of friends. It is simple physics. With every action, there is an opposite and equal reaction. Everything we do in life as an addict or a sober person does and will affect others around you. Everything we do in life as an addict or a sober person does and will affect others around us. Okay, got that. So, in ending, if you find yourself being a victim of an addict's addiction and you have done everything you possibly could have done to help them, and they still keep going back to the addiction, then it is time to walk away. And it is okay to do so. Sometimes tough love is the only way to save them. Stop yourself from being a victim so you could help them not be a victim. Think about it. That was awesome. I like that. Especially the part where it says it's okay for you to walk away. Because I can speak from personal experience. My mom found it very hard to walk away. So I knew there was always a crutch that I could fall back on, that I could manipulate and twist to get what I want. A lot of people will say, yeah, my father or my mother or so and so was always had my back when I was in active addiction. That's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. Alright? Because that person just ends up, how can I say, enabling you to carry on doing what you're doing. So think about it. Peace be with you all on this wonderful Sunday. God bless and adios.